Hello, Leia here. I'm hopping on today to talk about how I feel inspired in this next year, 2026, to soften. And that doesn't mean to be passive, to let people walk all over me, to be lazy. It doesn't mean any of that. What it means is understanding where my boundaries are in each moment by being present and aware of how my body feels and where my energetic body lies in the space that I'm in, and understanding how to communicate and how to just energetically hold that space where it is. What made me think of it is I'm entering a new community at a gym, and it's my job. So I'm a personal trainer now. So working with other personal trainers that are mostly male and that don't necessarily respect women. I haven't been like outwardly disrespected, but understanding that the space that I take up, no matter how large or small it is perfect. I don't have to shift. I don't have to I don't have to shrink myself in order to fit the male gaze. I don't have to shrink myself in order to make an insecure person comfortable. And then I also just had another occurrence tonight with my family where I was speaking up about an experience that I had with another family member, and it made my parents super uncomfortable. They ended up like laughing, like making a joke out of it and like laughing and walking away very quickly. Like it happened, I literally spoke, laughed, they walk away because they were uncomfortable. They couldn't process the energy that I had just let out of my body. And I went into this old pattern of feeling guilty for even taking up space, for speaking in the first place, for even having the thought. You go down these spirals of just feeling bad for taking up space, especially as an empath, which if you're here, you're an empath. If you didn't know it, you do now. A lot of us energy workers, the way that you work with energy is to feel the energy around you. So of course you're going to be understanding and feeling everything that's coming around you, and so you feel what other people are feeling a lot of the time, especially if you're in the beginning and you don't understand the energetic boundaries and creating that separation between you and other people. And also energetic hygiene, where you can, even if even if unwanted energy becomes a part of your field, you know how to get rid of it, transmute it, turn it into something different. So anyway, all of that said, the opportunity here is to be comfortable taking up the space that you have taken already. And it's not in this like rude, abrasive way. It's just, this is the space I take up. I understand it makes people uncomfortable sometimes, but I'm a lot. I am a human being. I'm an energetic body that takes up space. I'm sorry if you are affected by me just being naturally the way that I am. However, I'm not sorry for being the way that I am. So, and then this is also a good reminder that instead of saying sorry, say thank you for understanding, thank you for allowing me the space to yada yada, to kind of like reframe that habit of automatically saying sorry, because it's so easy to just feel bad, automatically have sorry come out of your mouth, and that habit is it's like confirming this little piece of your old patterns, or maybe your current patterns, that are fading of I am not worthy of taking up space. The way that I am isn't good enough. The habits that I have, it's just the way that I'm being is not accepted in some shape or form, and therefore it is wrong. And that is not the case. Everything that's happening, everything that has led you to have that belief, whether it's you were playing and being an awesome child, but it was too loud for your family and they made you feel bad about that, or that you were punished for that, all of those things were happened in order to trigger something in them, something in you, in order for you to each evolve. And now you've evolved to this place where you understand your boundaries. And yes, of course, that means where you do not allow people to take advantage of you. Like, it's like the physical form of boundary, but it's also like, it's the physical form of boundary, meaning you don't let things pass that, but it's also on the opposite side, it's how much space you take up. It's naturally, they occur at the same time. You want to be big. You've always wanted to be big, but you're so scared to take up space. Look at this little gorgeous little reflection. I thought it was like a little angel sitting with us. Anyways, you're meant to be big. You're meant to take up the space that you take up without feeling sorry. And of course, it's going to be a process of unlearning, just like we are doing with everything all the time. But it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier and easier. And right now, it's just a pure reflection that it's naturally happening for you right now. So congratulations, woo! But the whole point, the initial idea of making this video was to inspire you and to be a support for you on your journey of becoming softer, more natural, and allowing yourself to take up the space, all the space, the way that you want to. And that can even reflect into our jobs and to like the way that we make money and have an income. Because the way that you want to take up space, your boundaries could be crossed in all of the atmospheres where you usually go for money. Like, for example, my pattern is working in the restaurant industry just because it's comfortable. It's easy because I know how to do it. It's not easy because it's physically like exhausting, especially for an empath to work in a restaurant where you're like basically continuously meeting people's standards and pleasing them. It's very exhausting, and also like feeling that many energy bodies at the same time, especially if like you go from like being internal and not having that many human connections to like a restaurant shift where you're meeting like 100 to multiple hundreds of people. Anyway, so that's my pattern where I'm realizing that my boundaries are being crossed in certain areas, but it doesn't deter me from working in the restaurant industry completely, because I'm able to look at it and it's a challenge for me to set boundaries in environments where I've not set boundaries before. Especially in the restaurant industry, like people definitely expect you to bend over backwards for what their needs are, especially in America where like customer is always right. It really is a challenge, and if you understand, like if you're in a restaurant, then you understand. You definitely understand, because it's like, actually no, I'm gonna take it at my pace. Like my legs hurt and I'm tired, I'm like out of breath or something, and or I'm physically exhausted, I just need like 5 seconds to breathe, I'm not going to immediately pacify this person's large emotions because they don't know how to regulate their own emotions. I'm not going to do that. Even if it's a bad review, even if they're going to pull my manager to the side and say something, yada, 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 you know? It's a very large challenge to put yourself to the extreme situation of that failure of people pleasing. It's like you letting yourself be at the expense of somebody else's mood. Even though they're uncomfortable, you know that the way that you're acting is affecting them in a negative way. Like, of course, everything happens for a reason, but it seems not pleasant in the moment. But it feels good for you to take up space in that way. That's breaking a pattern. You're literally rewriting history. And of course, this behavior is passed down from lineage to lineage to lineage, like from our ancestors. If you have these people-pleasing tendencies, it's probably you're not the first one to create it out of nowhere. So you are breaking generational patterns by simply being still. It's not even like you have to say no. It's not taking immediate action to resolve the problem in front of you. If you do not have the energy, this is where the physical practice comes in. Holding your boundary, here's how you can actually do it. You can, usually if you're in front of people, I understand like it's uncomfortable to like put your hands on your heart, close your eyes and take a deep breath and, you know, like really ground yourself with these things that are considered woo-woo and it makes people uncomfortable. But what you can actually do if you don't feel, if you feel uncomfortable, like really being obvious about what you're doing, just breathe in your nose all the way up, full belly, exhale. You can do through your mouth or through your nose, all the way. Do that again. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Remind yourself, I have autonomy right now. None of this is actually real. All of the automatic habits that I want to do right now in order to ease the chaos of the moment will not help anything. It will further perpetuate more chaos. How can I right now choose peace and autonomy and calmness in my anatomy? And then do it. Do it. This is the scary part because I've been literally at work, nervous system fully activated, wishing I could leave. Keeping myself there out of commitment. And then here's the trick. It's like you break the loop by becoming completely present. I have autonomy in this moment. I would like to leave. Or I would like to have a second, at least. I would like to have a second. Go do it. I'm literally telling you. One time, I was working in as like a server in a restaurant, basically, and I was waiting for this food to be finished making so I could go take it to the table. And I just was like miserable. And I said, I don't really want to be here anymore. And my body like relaxed. I fully accepted the fact that I was present in the moment. Like, I was not letting all of the chaos overtake my nervous system. It was activated, but I was present. It was like I clicked, I woke up, and I was like, I don't really want to be here. Not even exaggerating. 30 seconds later, my manager walks up. She was like, hey, you can go home. It's okay. And it wasn't like there was no drama behind it. She just said, you can go home. And it seriously is that simple sometimes. But it could also be a lesson where you honestly have to like physically set the boundary and say, hey, I really need to leave, or I need to take 5 minutes to go take a step outside, walk in the walk-in cooler. Or if like you're in a different industry, like if you have a desk job, I need to turn my desk screen off for 5 minutes. I need to sit back in my chair and take a deep breath. I need to go out on the balcony, take a deep breath. I don't know like what other people do for money. If you're self-employed, then you can have that autonomy. So like obviously that's the goal for a lot of people, especially empaths. Like you want to be able to set your own situation up. But giving yourself permission to say no without any holding yourself to any expectations, because other people are holding you to the expectation. If you've made a commitment, I understand wanting to fulfill that commitment. However, how many times are you going to overexert yourself and commit to something that you basically get stuck into? So break the cycle, start saying no to things you've even committed to, and then you'll eventually stop. You'll notice what it feels like in your body to say yes to something that you know you're going to end up breaking the commitment with. And then you'll just say no instead of yes. You'll learn that in your body. So yeah. So this is basically just listening to your inner voice. It's connecting to that feeling inside of your body. If you are somewhere and your nervous system is continuously activated, it could be a lesson to alchemize, be able to transmute higher quantities of energy, because we are just this vessel that is like allowing energy in and putting energy out. So as we like progress in life, or like as we progress as human beings, we're learning to transmute more and more and more and more energy and become more like light beings and less density. If you're curious about that, then go find other videos on light beings and alchemizing and all that fun stuff. But it could be a lesson about handling larger amounts of stress, basically. Or it could be an opportunity to say, no, fuck this. My peace is my priority. So I'm leaving, period, point blank. Point blank. And that's another thing that I feel like I should create a separate video on. And maybe I'll do that right after this. Taking a leap of faith. A scary no, basically. It's saying no to something that is a very large part of your life that will force you or encourage movement that is literally terrifying. And in order to free yourself from that pattern of living, sometimes you have to take the leap and not know what is after that. So yeah, it can be scary, but I will post a different video about how to get through a big scary leap. But this one is just about softening, listening to that intuition. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself, on your shift to show up in certain ways. And yeah, this was a bit of a rambler, but this is how I wanted to take up space today. I hope that it resonates with your heart. I hope that you feel more seen, more connected, and more inspired to truly be who you want to be all the time, no matter what, and say no, even if it affects other people in a seemingly negative way. So that's that. I love you guys. I hope you have a lovely night, and I'll see you in the next one.